Sophia was sitting in the very last car of the A train, forehead pressed to the cold window as the subway screamed its way from Queens toward Manhattan. Her reflection in the glass looked unfamiliar, hollow around the eyes, as if the day had carved new lines onto her face. The city outside flickered like a dying film reel, and every time the doors opened the smell of wet metal, hot brakes, and old rain drifted in. She was 24 but felt decades older, as though exhaustion had settled into her bones for good. Earlier that afternoon, she had finally quit the tiny Chelsea gallery, where she'd spent 2 years hanging other people's art while hiding her own. The owner, with his expensive watch and condescending smile, had glanced at her new series and declared it too dark for buyers. The words stung less than the realization that she had stayed far too long in a place that never believed in her. So she packed her brushes, zipped her worn portfolio, and walked out without looking back. The train lurched, and she barely noticed, until a girl in a faded denim jacket stepped directly into her line of vision. One hand wrapped around the silver pole, the other held a thick, battered sketchbook that seemed ready to fall apart at any moment. Sophia blinked, startled by how alive the stranger looked, hair escaping in soft waves, eyes gray as pavement after rain, and a fresh scratch on her cheek that seemed almost deliberate, as if the city itself had marked her. The sketchbook overflowed with receipts, scraps, tickets, and papers, all fluttering whenever the train jolted. For a moment Sophia wondered what kind of life produced a book like that. Just before Delancey Street, the train braked too sharply. The girl swayed, the sketchbook slipped, and pages exploded across the filthy floor like startled birds. Sophia bent at the exact same second the girl did. Their fingers collided over one particular drawing, a charcoal portrait of a woman staring through a subway window, her face half erased but her eyes unmistakable. They were Sophia's eyes. Even in smudged lines she recognized herself. "Sorry," the girl whispered, voice low, warm, slightly rough. "These are mine." "It's beautiful," Sophia said before she could think. "She looks like me." The stranger gave a crooked, almost embarrassed smile. "I've been drawing her for months. Same train, same car. I never finished her face because I wasn't sure what she was feeling." Sophia stared at the portrait. "Probably everything. Too much, maybe." They rose at the same time, still holding the drawing between them, and for several quiet seconds neither moved to let go. The train rattled into the open air, the bridge lights flickering across both of their faces. The girl finally cleared her throat.
"I'm Emma."
"Sophia." Emma nodded slowly, like the name meant something she hadn't expected. For a few stops they gathered the scattered sketches, not speaking but moving in sync, close enough for Sophia to feel the warmth of Emma's shoulder each time the train shifted. The Manhattan skyline opened around them like a jagged constellation. Emma exhaled shakily. "I hate bridges," she murmured. "Heights make me dizzy." "I hate silence," Sophia said quietly. "Especially the kind that crawls into your apartment at night." Emma's gaze lingered on her. "Your eyes look like you haven't slept in a month." "I quit my job today." "Or got fired." "Hard to tell." Emma gave a humorless laugh. "I left the girl I was living with. She loved everything about me except the part that mattered." They said it at the same time, and both laughed, surprised by the way the sound broke the heaviness around them. At Union Square, Emma asked, "Where are you going?" "Home. West Village." "You?" Emma hesitated, then shrugged with a vulnerability that felt too raw to be performed. "I don't really have a home tonight. My stuff is in a locker at Penn Station. I have $43 until Friday." Sophia felt something tighten in her chest, not pity, but recognition. "Come with me," she said. The words surprised even her. Emma blinked. "You're serious? We met 5 minutes ago." "That's sometimes enough." The train stopped. They stepped off together, walking west into the bite of November air. Their shoulders brushed occasionally, each touch sending a quiet spark through Sophia's body. Her building was an old walk-up with flickering hallway lights and cracked tiles. Inside, the small apartment smelled of turpentine, coffee left on the burner too long, and the kind of loneliness that stains the walls. Paintings covered nearly every surface. Rooftops at dawn, abandoned stairwells, women with hidden faces bathed in bruised violet light. Emma paused in front of one large canvas, a woman standing near a window, lamplight slicing across the room. "Is this you?" Emma asked, her voice soft. "That's me every night. I can't sleep," Sophia admitted. Emma touched the air just above the painting as if afraid to disturb it. "Can I draw you someday? Really draw you?" Sophia felt her throat tighten. "Why me?" Emma met her eyes. "Because you look like someone who thinks she's disappearing." Sophia didn't move when Emma brushed a strand of hair behind her ear. Didn't flinch when Emma's trembling fingers traced her jaw. The first kiss was shy, testing. The second was real, full of everything neither knew how to say. Sophia tasted menthol and something like hope. They didn't sleep. They sat on the couch under the crooked lamp, sharing the same chipped mug of cheap wine, talking about childhoods that never fit, ex-lovers who never cared enough, the dreams they were afraid to say aloud. By dawn, Emma had fallen asleep against her shoulder, hand loosely wrapped around Sophia's wrist like an anchor. For the first time in months, Sophia wasn't afraid of the silence. A week passed. Emma stayed. The couch became Emma's side, then simply the bed. Emma sketched Sophia in the morning light, tracing every detail gently, reverently. Sophia painted Emma's shadow on the fire escape, the shape of her body bent over the sketchbook. They fought sometimes. Emma vanished when she needed air. Sophia hid when fear clawed at her. But they always returned, because somehow the city felt less cruel when they faced it side by side. Nearly a year later, they found themselves again in the last car of the Blue Line. Emma pulled out the battered sketchbook. On the last page was the subway woman, finished at last. Her face was calm, steady, alive. "It's you," Emma whispered. Sophia took her hand, squeezed it. "Maybe it's who I've become." Emma leaned in and kissed her in front of strangers who pretended not to see. Outside, the city roared, indifferent and eternal. Inside the rattling train, two women held onto each other, no longer afraid of the dark tunnel ahead, because they had learned how to walk through it together.